Alright, we're at 1994 now. The Sega Genesis/Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo were in full swing, and we're starting to get into the twilight years of the two consoles with the Sega Saturn on the horizon. But little did Sega know that another player was going to enter the market and shake up the console wars. But that's a story for another time. 1994 marked the release of not one, but two very successful games for the Sega Genesis/Mega Drive. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which introduced the character Knuckles the Echidna, who had been tricked by Dr Robotnik to be a thorn in Sonic and Tails' side, believing that they were approaching Angel Island to steal the Master Emerald, and Sonic and Knuckles, which takes place shortly after and features Knuckles as a playable character who initially acts as an antagonist to Sonic, but after realising that he's been tricked, has his own story which takes place after Sonic's. But Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles is not the game we're covering today. The game we're covering is Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble for the Sega Game Gear. This is the first 8-bit Sonic game featuring Knuckles, and was released shortly after Sonic and Knuckles in late 1994. The game is considered an 8-bit answer to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and interestingly enough, did not get a Master System release, despite the console still being current in Europe and Brazil. There is an unofficial port to the Master System version which was released in 2009 by Glitch, a member of the Sonic scene who specialises in technical work. But for the sake of this review, we will be strictly focusing on the official Game Gear release. In Sonic Triple Trouble, Dr. Robotnik is testing out a new destructive weapon, and the experiment backfires, scattering 5 of the 6 Chaos Emeralds into special stages. Remember, the 8-bit games only have 6 emeralds. Sonic and Tails, hearing about this, embark on a journey to try and recover the emeralds to keep them out of Robotnik's hands. But Robotnik has tricked Knuckles the Echidna into thinking that Sonic and Tails are out to steal the Chaos Emeralds for world domination. So, Knuckles goes out to try and stop them. In the meantime, Robotnik holds one of the emeralds and hopes that Knuckles will recover them for him for world domination. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles and Robotnik aren't the only people after the Chaos Emeralds either. Meet Nack the Weasel, technically a half Jerboa half wolf, a treasure and bounty hunter hoping to steal the Chaos Emeralds to make a fortune on the market. Nack would later reappear in Sonic the Fighters, a 3D Sonic fighting game, as Fang the Sniper, which is now his official name going forward, though for this review I will still refer to him as Nack. The game allows you to play as Sonic or Tails as they race through 6 zones to stop Robotnik, Knuckles and Nack and recover the Chaos Emeralds. But is this game any good? Find out in The Good. I really like the scale of the zones in Triple Trouble. The game expands on Sonic Chaos' scale and really adds multiple parts of the act to explore. In terms of size, I feel that this is more in line with the 16-bit games, and I'm quite impressed that Aspect was able to pull this off. Each zone comprises of 3 acts, and the third act of each zone is much shorter but contains a boss fight. The zones themselves are quite varied in terms of variety, and they all introduce a gimmick that's not seen in any of the other zones in the game. Great Turquoise has enemies with springs on their back, Sunset Park has rail carts, Meta Jungrilla has glass spheres acting like pinball bumpers and baskets to launch Sonic and Tails up in the air, Robotnik Winter has snowboarding if playing as Sonic, as well as patches of snow you can fall through, Tidal Plant is your obligatory water zone where Sonic and Tails can drown if they don't get air, and Atomic Destroyer with a tube network with multiple paths and buttons that can set off laser turrets or create enemies. Even the variety of special stages I'm impressed with. To access a special stage, Sonic and Tails must find a Chaos Emerald monitor in each of the first 2 acts. They can only access the special stage if they have 50 or more rings, and once broken, a circle of stars appear to signify that they can enter the special stage. There are 5 special stages for each emerald. 3 of them are platforming stages where you need to reach the end before time runs out, and 2 are 3D looking flying stages where you control Sonic or Tails in their plane the Tornado to collect 80 rings. At the end of each special stage you fight against Nack, and each encounter with him is different, so it really keeps you on your toes. Once you've beaten Nack, you will then be allowed to access the Chaos Emerald. Once you get the emerald, or if you have all 5 of them, the emerald monitors will become super ring monitors to add 10 rings to your final tally. I really do like the stage design and variety, and it's quite the improvement. Because the game was made specifically for the Game Gear, I don't really feel that screen crunch was an issue, which goes to show just how far Aspect have come since the issues with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Game Gear. The game does feature noticeable differences if you choose to play as Sonic or Tails, with Tails being the game's easy mode. Sonic still has access to his spin dash and super peel out, known as the strike dash in this game, with the latter having brief invincibility at the start of the running animation. Tails has the spin dash as well, but like in Sonic Chaos, he can also fly, and the flying controls feel more floaty and natural in this game than in Sonic Chaos. Tails can also fly in mid-air, however if you choose to fly this way he'll be unable to fly upwards freely. Regardless, Tails can only fly for a short amount of time. Tails can now enter the special stages where his ability to fly trivialises the difficulty of the 2D platforming stages, and he also gets a power-up called the Hyper Heli Tails, which allows him to fly at fast speeds as a replacement for Sonic's rocket shoes. The other key difference between the two is found in Tidal Plant Zone. While Sonic has propeller shoes to let him travel through water quickly, he still needs air, otherwise he'll drown. Tails has access to the Sea Fox, a submarine that only he can pilot, which fires missiles and dashes to break blocks and destroy enemies. But while Tails is in it, he doesn't need to worry about drowning. However, there are still areas underwater that Tails will need to explore without the Sea Fox, so the risk of drowning is still present, though there are less opportunities. When Sonic and Tails fights the boss of Tidal Plant Zone, which is Knuckles, Sonic will get an air bubble between a couple of Knuckles moves, but otherwise has to avoid them and hit Knuckles, while Tails starts the fight in the Sea Fox, allowing him to fire missiles at Knuckles from a distance and protecting him from 4 hits before the Sea Fox is destroyed, and Tails has to beat Knuckles the same way Sonic would. The game also allows Sonic and Tails to perform a spin attack if they're not already in a ball in the air by pressing the button in mid-air. This is a very handy thing to know, as you'll need to do this to beat the boss of the first zone. I won't spoil and show footage here, but the entire boss fight of the final zone is in multiple stages, which I also really enjoyed and found somewhat challenging. The ending is also determined by whether you get all of the Chaos Emeralds or not, and there was more effort put into it than in Sonic Chaos, so props for that. However, the game doesn't just have good points, so let's look at what didn't work well in the bad. While there is a distinct difficulty in playing as Sonic or Tails, I felt the game was pretty easy overall. I don't know Triple Trouble as well as I do with the 8-bit versions of Sonic 1 and 2, which I know like the back of my hand, and Sonic Chaos, which I'm reasonably familiar with, but I found the game was quite generous with lives, and some enemies can be destroyed or hit safely if Sonic or Tails jumps into them while holding spikes, or in a boss's case, generating electricity. When Sonic or Tails is hit by an enemy, you don't necessarily lose all of your rings. Being hit by an enemy will reduce your ring count by 30, while taking damage from spikes will reduce it by 50. This makes the game significantly more forgiving, and is the first Sonic game to implement this feature. If you run out of lives, you do get continues, and even they are pretty generous, as you're awarded a continue for every 50,000 points, or if you get Knuckles on the bonus panel at the end of Acts 1 and 2 of a zone. I even found it was pretty rare for me to get a flicky on said panel, which doesn't award any bonus, often getting a Super Ring panel or a Sonic or Tails icon, which either awards you with an extra life if it matches the character you're playing as, or 10,000 points if not. Combined with finishing a level within a reasonable amount of time, and all of the rings and secrets you can find exploring a level, I don't even think you'll use up all of your lives. The ring counter does go beyond 100 to boost your score even more, and you are awarded a free life the first time you reach a multiple of 100 rings. I will admit though that while I feel the game was too easy to the point where I would consider it a bad thing, it does make the game much more accessible. Other than that, there isn't much else for me to complain about, so let's wrap it up with the opinion. Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble I feel has taken the formula of Sonic Chaos and improved on it, and I consider this game to be the closest you'll get to the Sonic 16-bit experience on an 8-bit platform. The scale and variety of each zone is an improvement, and the difference in difficulty is now more pronounced, with the ending issue I had originally with Sonic Chaos being addressed. However, despite the difficulty being more pronounced, the game is still a bit on the easy side, breaking the trend that Sonic and Tails loses all of their rings when hit, and being generous with lives and continues. Unique special stages and the addition of Nack as another antagonist to worry about was great, and the fact that the Chaos Emerald monitors were hidden in the zones encouraged exploration, which adds to the experience. If you enjoy the older Sonic games, then this is one I definitely recommend trying. Aspects certainly made improvements from the 8-bit version of Sonic 2 to now, and it's paid off. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble Knuckles out of 10. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.